Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Beyond the Mat with me, J. Cole Yoga. We are still out in the forest, me and Tai Tai. Ain't that right, girl? We're now down on the water that I pointed out earlier. Oh yeah, you know she wants to get in, but she's not allowed. This is actually a pond, so I don't know how safe it is for the little doges and dogelings to get in there. So anyways, as I had promised in a previous video, I was going to talk about the heart awakening that had happened. So I guess we'll just start by saying when dealing with things like the Chakra system, I had never read anything about it before. I didn't really know much about it. I knew it existed. I knew what the different levels were. I knew that they had these names attached to them and ideas attached to them. Only I hadn't really read too much about it, and so I guess I didn't know. And what had happened was way earlier, 15 years earlier in life, probably, I had other awakenings. And it wasn't until after a DMT experience in Nelson, British Columbia, that I had a heart awakening. So I had already had the other two awakenings in the past. And so we're just going to talk about this third awakening of the heart. And I mean, I was always a heartful, happy kind of guy before, but I feel like before this had happened, I was very conceited, very self-involved, very concerned about lots of J stuff, let's just put it. And I didn't really look outward too often to friends and family. I wasn't the kind of person to go out of my way and just buy somebody a lotto ticket or just give someone an apple, you know. And I mean, I have a friend who does that. She literally brings apples with her when she goes out in the world. D-Block, you know what I'm talking about, you girl. She brings apples with her when she goes out in the world just to give homeless people in case she maybe runs into a homeless person. She's got an apple. And yeah, I just had never been in that kind of a heart mode myself. So now I was walking to work, and I was working at a shitty department store that I didn't want to work at, and I wasn't really getting along with a couple people at work, and I wasn't digging it. I didn't like living on the side of a mountain. Walking up and down a mountain every day wasn't my thing. Everybody was really nice in the city. Everyone was really nice in that town, rather, and that's what made it difficult to get angry at anyone or get upset about any of this stuff. It's just because everyone was such like a little blissed out yoga child kind of thing, you know, and it's difficult. It's difficult when you're amongst so many opened minds and you're having a hard time. I mean, it kind of says something about you. Maybe you've got some channels to work through, which I totally did. And so I'm walking to work down the mountain one day, and I'm listening to it's a song by MC Yogi. Ty, get out of that. Kaka. I'm listening to a song by MC Yogi, and they're chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. And so it's just kind of a Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then it kind of breaks into like this whole church choir sound, and we've got kids singing. And I had listened, when I listened to an album, when I listened to an artist, I mean, I listened to that one artist on repeat for probably 3 months, and it was getting near the end of that 3 months of listening to MC Yogi stuff. So it's not like the first time I had heard it and it hit me right in the feels or anything. No, I'd heard this thing 100,000 times. I'd heard this song, and it culminated to this point, and it hit me, and I literally just stopped. What I was doing was walking down the street, just stopped, and I sat down on the side of the road, and my heart just welled up with joy, and tears just poured down my face for probably 15 minutes straight. I just sat there and cried on the side of the road, and cars are driving by, people are walking by looking at me all weird and shit, and I'm just sitting there crying, having a good old heartfelt cry. And it was at that moment that something within within the Kundalini, within the Chakra system, it had been explored to this point where I guess whatever meditations I had been doing at the time and thoughts I had been having about life, the universe, and everything, finally had done it. And that song came on, and these kids were singing, and I was singing along in my head, and it just became so beautiful. And I sat down and cried. And my heart, I felt like it expanded, like it opened, like there was an energy sensation inside my whole chest area that was just this overwhelming joy and happiness. Again, relating back to the DMT experience, almost like that warm motherly love feeling that was washed over my entire body. It was the same kind of experience, only this time it wasn't a warm motherly love, it was just love itself was emanating from my entire body. And now the interesting thing is that I did get up off my ass, wipe the tears, and continue walking down that mountain to a shitty shit job with shit people I didn't like and didn't want anything to do with. And I got down there, and for some reason, nobody bothered me anymore. All the people who were like nagging at me and picking on me every day just went away. And I guess it comes down to your vibrational frequencies that you live within. And because I was no longer resonating with these people, I was no longer at their level. And so like it's like being in the room. You can be in a room with a bunch of hateful people, and you can leave that room and go up to another room upstairs, and they're not going to come fuck with you anymore. And it's basically the same kind of feeling, because every day at work I went the rest of my time there, and I just didn't have any problems. They just didn't even look at me as a thing anymore. Whereas these people would walk by, and I would be in my department, they would see, oh, there's a guy I'm gonna go fuck with, raggle, and they'd come over and, make your life miserable. They just didn't even look at me anymore, because I wasn't feeling them anymore. I wasn't like, oh, I hate this job, everything sucks, raggle. I wasn't doing that anymore. So those other raggle people weren't coming around and raggling me anymore. I was now, hey, welcome, have a great day, yes, everything's awesome. And I just felt this joy in life. And it was shortly after that the decision to become a yoga teacher had happened. It was probably like a week after that, when I was laying in Shavasana after a Yoga with Adriene YouTube sequence in the morning, that I had those ideas, which were previously talked about in the DMT video. You guys can go back and watch all that. So that's it for now, y'all. Peace, love, and light. Namaste, and all that other good news. We out.